The problem Arewas have, the problem the Fulanis has is this. When you give them advice that will favor them, that will benefit them, they twist it other way around. But the learned ones there, and thank God we have about 2 or 3 learned Fulanis that are addressing this thing, and outside that are addressing this thing to them, to let them know that Very Dark Man is not insulting them. Or I myself, I made this video before Very Dark Man, and I told them, as you are training them, giving the plate to go and bake food, 10 million of them, you are training 10 million of terrorists in future. I made this video on Monday. I tell them, now, Very Dark Man have made his own on Tuesday. All of them have started crying that Very Dark Man insulting them. Nobody insulting you people. Okay, let this, my brother, break it down for you people, for you to see. Watch this video, like, comment, follow me without no reason. Help me to subscribe on my YouTube channel as Mariswe USA. Thank you very much as you did it. Watch this video and get common sense. You Fulani, you outside that doesn't have common sense. Watch this video and get common sense.
My Arewa brothers, at this point, on all honesty, before God and humanity, I think that the only person that can save you is God himself. I've seen what is going on social media. VDM made a video stating that the Arewa youth and Arewa community has been reduced to poverty, low standard of living, even a shifted ideology. And the Arewa youth are making video online saying that VDM is reducing the entire Arewa community to a stereotype. We are going to know the reason why I say that at this point it's only God Almighty that can help Arewa. Let's get into the analysis. Any point I mentioned here, we have A and B. Number 1, you are living with so much amount of resources which equal to wealth. A white man appeared from nowhere and gave you a Quran and told you that all these things that you have already is vanity upon vanity. You should read this Quran, anything that you read in it, implement it in your life, that your reward is in heaven. That white man that gave you the Quran and the Bible is looting all your resources that you already have to develop his own country. And on your own side, you are not only losing your resources, you are as well killing your own brother because of what you read from that Quran. Nisarankani, the reward that was promised to you in that Quran and Bible, when are you going to get it? After you die. The part B of this point I just stated now, when someone tries to deconstruct this ideology and tell you that this thing is scam, what do you do to that person? You hate that person. Number 2, since the independence of Nigeria, the Arewa community has produced the highest number of presidents, the highest number of governors, because Arewa communities pass across 19 states, and the highest number of religious leaders. But the same Arewa community has suffered the most in the hand of insecurity and banditry in Nigeria. And these leaders, both political leaders and religious leaders, have done absolutely nothing about it. The big part of this number 2, these Arewa leaders, both political and religious leaders, you protect them with everything that you have, including your life. And when somebody tries to tell you the reason why you should not do so, you hate that person. Number 3, the Arewa community has the highest number of poor people in Nigeria. If you are talking about infrastructures like good road and power supply, you can give Arewa that, but average households in the Arewa community are living hand to mouth. Yes, this is not a stereotype, it's the reality. Average households in the Arewa community are very, very poor. Those ancient tools that our great-grandparents were using in 1940, they are still there in Arewa community in 2026. Now, these Arewa leaders, both political and religious leaders, they don't have any plan for the Arewa people. Even little ones like trying to alleviate poverty. No. Be part of this point I mentioned now. If somebody comes out and say the Arewa community is poor, the leader should do something about it, you will hate that person. You will come out and say it's stereotype. Number 4, this level of poverty in the Arewa community is now being weaponized by these same politicians. Have you asked yourself, the Arewa community has the highest number of military infrastructures in Nigeria. Why is it like that? Now, since independence, these leaders, both the political leaders and the religious leaders, they don't build business infrastructures to employ thousands of Arewa youth. I'm talking about warehouses, factories, and companies. But instead, they build military infrastructures. This is because the Arewa community has very high population rate and as well very high poverty rate as well. So indirectly, a lot of Arewa youth that want to be useful to themselves, they wouldn't have no option than to join the military, where they will work their ass out and they will be paid 100,000, 150,000. Poverty cycle. Number 5, the Arewa community has the highest number of unproductive children and youths. The children have no plan, they don't go to school, no academic, no learning. They move from one place to another, from one compound to another. They beg, they enter bush, they ask for money, they eat, they come back. The youth, they do conductor and some come of low craft jobs and everything. Have you ever asked yourself why they don't want to alleviate poverty in the Arewa community? It's because they are weaponizing it. When somebody is very, very poor, that person becomes vulnerable. That person becomes very easy to manipulate, and that is why it is as simple as ABC to give the Arewa community just little amount of money and they will be manipulated. During election, they can be manipulated to vote the wrong person. During any movement that want to liberate the country, they can be manipulated to disrupt that movement, and that is a very big weapon that the politicians use. Now, these little ideologies has been there for a very long time, kept you in abject poverty, both you and your children, kept you in high rate of insecurity, no bright future and anything. Somebody that is influential is starting to deconstruct this ideology so that you can at least open your eyes. You come out, you call it stereotype. The first step to solve a problem is first identify that there is a problem. When you have a big problem and you fail to realize you have a problem, then you have a very long way to go. At this point, I'm gonna only go help Arewa. Unamata don't tell me wallahi. Key? What is stereotype here now? Everything he said is true. Everything he said is true. The first step to solve a problem, point that problem, you signal it out, then you seek for solution. Somebody else is looking into Arewa community and seeing the problem, pointing it out. You yourself that is the owner of the problem, you come out and you say it's a stereotype. Stereotype, okay. Peace.